Don't mind me, guys. Chelsea had to do that because I'm feeding my face.
What she means is I went live as she was taking a bite, and I thought it was kind of funny. But hello, good evening, or good morning, or good afternoon, depending on when you watch this. If you don't join us live, that's okay. You can watch this whenever you want.
Yes, please just join us.
Yeah, we're just hanging out. I got my comfy clothes on today. Walmart has oversized sweatshirts, and I decided I needed them in my life, so here we are. It was a very good decision. No, I don't regret it. Yeah,
Well, it rained all last night, thank God.
it it poured here yesterday too. It was very intense for a bit.
Which is nice is we're no longer under high fire watch.
Yeah, that is a bonus because, that gets pretty nasty up here.
Well, 101 acres was burning in Roscommon, and it's contained, but I don't know if it's out yet.
Oh, they did contain it?
Yep.
Oh, thank goodness. I was worried about
That's the
that.
last I heard, anyway.
Because we don't need
Then
any
I
more.
just heard some very disturbing news.
Oh, now what?
The Bell Mansion in Indiana looks like it's going to close.
Really? Did they run out of money or something?
I don't know.
Hmm.
All I know is they're canceling their Christmas event because they don't anticipate being open.
That's a bummer.
I know.
So they're closing. Does that mean they're going to sell the building? Because I have a sneaking suspicion because the Warrens' house has been sold. The Conjuring house is up on auction on Halloween. I have a sneaking suspicion we're going to see a lot of haunted places go up for sale because
it's a possibility.
Yeah, I think it's going to happen, especially for those who can see profit. Haunted places seem to be a hot commodity, and if people are willing to spend buku bucks to go paranormal investigating, I could see people jumping on that bandwagon.
Oh, they'll try.
Yeah.
All I can say is if you want to buy a big place like that, you better have a lot of money to be able to run it.
Well, and that's the thing. The only people that can afford it are all these crazy fakers on YouTube, and they're just going to keep destroying what's left of the field.
I know, and I really wanted to go there, but probably won't make it.
Yeah, it looks like Tina is in the same boat.
No, Tina, I know it sucked. On a better note, we had a beautiful fundraiser Saturday.
Yes, we sure did. Tell everybody about it.
We had 43 Jeeps show up for the Jeep part of it, which was beautiful.
That's phenomenal.
We had lots of prizes for them. There was 50/50s, and there was prize drawings and items you could bid on, and all said in cash, we raised $1,300 for Toys for Tots.
That's fantastic. I didn't even know the numbers.
And I hooked up with a wonderful girl, Kim, and she supplied enough toys. And this isn't counting the people that showed up and brought toys. There was probably 4 huge Toys for Tots boxes filled from the people that came in. And we had so many. It was great. But my friend brought 3 truckloads of brand new miscellaneous toys, lunch boxes, t-shirts. It filled one whole wall of a garage.
There was so many toys. It was very impressive.
It was absolutely heartwarming. And the food was magnificent. There was a man there frying up taters O'Brien with onions, and oh my God, it smelled so good.
And there's hot dogs and pizza and giant ass salads.
Everyone had a great time. I'm already looking forward to next year.
Yeah, it went really well. Really well.
Now I'm going to take another bite of my food. Don't everybody laugh at me.
Sorry.
You're an asshole.
Nothing new. What's up, baby bro?
Hi. Well, I'm still living in Monday, so
I'm glad you realized it's no longer Monday, because I don't want to live in Monday.
I'm glad it's not Monday because that means it's Wednesday tomorrow, and then, we're closer to Friday.
I feel like after we get through podcast day, the week goes by much faster. Because then I wake up tomorrow, I'm like, hey, it's Wednesday.
Well, who doesn't like hump day?
You know what? I think don't get me wrong, I liked the camel, but I think they should have used a humpback whale. I'm just saying.
They need to do a commercial with both of them.
That would be cool. Like the camel
and
gets to
Like the camel humping the humpback whale?
No, I wouldn't go that far. That's weird.
Seems like weird commercials sell anymore.
Yeah, you got a point. I try to avoid mainstream television anymore. It's too painful.
Have you guys been watching the latest edition of Monsters?
I don't have Netflix, so that's a no.
Holy shit. Holy shit.
I did watch one of my YouTube channels that I subscribe to. He covered it, and he was talking about the differences between like the facts versus the fiction aspect of the show. So I thought that was cool.
Me too.
Yeah.
But I had no idea Psycho was based on that man.
How did you not know that?
I know, me. Maybe I forgot, but
I feel like you probably forgot, because that was like the author literally saw what happened with Ed Gein and was like, you know what? I'm going to write a story about a psychopath.
and Silence of the Lambs and Texas Chainsaw Massacre and something else.
There's elements of American Horror Story that were inspired by it. There's so much, like so much.
And Sons of Anarchy, dude, he did such an awesome job. He looked like him. He sounded like him.
His name is Charlie Hunnam.
It kind of creeped me out.
So that was actually, and I mean, I can't say I agree or disagree because I haven't watched it, but like I heard in some critiques of the show that while they praised Charlie Hunnam, all of them agree that he's done a magnificent job. Nobody really understood why they made him talk the way he did, because if you listen to recordings of Ed Gein, he did not sound like that.
Actually, he sounded pretty darn close to that. You got to remember, recordings are very grainy.
Oh, okay. What is he doing? It's driving me nuts.
He's cleaning my dinner plate.
Okay, he needs to not do that.
He has had a very rough night. I'm not yelling at him.
I don't want you to yell at him, but you could set the plate down, because anybody.
It's clean now.
Oh, good, because anybody that's like me and can't handle that sound is not going to like that.
Okay. It's okay, Dink.
I was only dying a little bit inside. It's okay.
Just a little.
I still love you, Higgins. You're a good boy.
His allergies are on the rampage.
Yeah, I'm sure. Poor Bobo's got allergies right now, too.
To the point where I had to go spend lots of money at the vet.
Yay!
I should have became a vet.
Right?
I know.
I mean, I thought about it. Are you eating dessert now?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
What's for dessert?
Snickers.
Oh. You're not yourself when you're hungry.
For later.
My dessert is pepperminty. Was pepperminty. Actually, one of my favorite things to do is I like to take a little scoop of peanut butter and add some of my chocolate protein powder to it, and it tastes like a chocolate peanut butter cup. It's pretty tasty.
Well, that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Yum.
And it's high protein. Anywho, so I had an idea if you guys have nothing else to talk about. There's some fun stories I came across on the good old Reddit. And being that it is our favorite spooky month of October, I thought I would read some of the paranormal encounter stories. And we could see if, we think, oh, okay, yeah, that's possible, or we call bullshit. Are we in? Let's do it. All right. Let's find one here.
What if I don't want to?
I don't want to. Maybe your favorite thing is calling them out if they're bullshit.
Yeah.
That's true.
All right, so let's start with paranormal encounter at hospice. So it says, "Hi Reddit, just wanted to share something that happened today. I work at a hospice facility as a nursing assistant, excuse me. One of our ladies passed away earlier. She was 102 years old and made a huge impact on both of us workers and other patients. Kind, loving, and wise. Anyway, I began praying at work today, alone in a room, pretty much asking God to welcome her home and keep her safe. Also thanking her for her time and for being so kind. As my prayer was finishing, I hear the loudest bang on the wooden table behind me. I flinch, but I wasn't scared. I looked for objects that could have fallen, but couldn't find anything. I asked out loud, 'Are you here? Is this so-and-so?' Nothing happened for about a minute or so. But as soon as I turned my back, a loud bang happened on the table again. It's like somebody slammed a closed fist on it. I've been trying to get my mind to wrap around this, but can't find any reasonable or natural reasons. I'm 99% positive the sound came from the room, and 99% sure it was a banging on the table. Nothing else in there could have made that sound. And twice after a prayer? Just wanted to share. So that was the first one.
As a person that has worked in dementia care specific in a nursing home, I believe it. I had so many crazy things happen. So many crazy things happen. I had more paranormal stuff happen when I worked at the nursing home than any haunted location I've been to.
I believe it.
Well, think of the age of the people in there and all the memories they held from the past.
Mm-hmm. Well, and then, you have the ones that have dementia, Alzheimer's, their minds are degrading. That can cause some ruckus as well.
Well, it makes them vulnerable too, I 100% believe. Like, I definitely believe that there is some type of negative entity force, demonic force, whatever have you, whatever you've used to portray it as, attached to dementia itself. Like, it preys on them because it knows their weak state.
Oh, it feeds off of them for sure. It's just like a poltergeist with young children.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same thing.
Maybe it could be more so that, because in my opinion, I think poltergeists are created by the children. So why couldn't somebody like that create their own kind of poltergeist as well?
Well, absolutely, especially when they're not in control of themselves.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
Well, and you think about it, a lot of them revert back to thinking that they're children or they're back in their younger years. So it kind of makes sense.
That's all they remember. It does make sense.
Mm-hmm.
The most, I guess, poltergeisty activity that I experienced when I worked there, and I know I've talked about it on the podcast before, we had this one specific resident at the end of my hall. I took over that hall on third shifts because of how bad he was, to the female staff. And I refused to let them work with him alone. And he was age dementia, so it wasn't progressive or aggressive. It was just, he was there for care, And he was like 93 years old. And so he was pretty with it in moments. There was moments that when he wasn't, and it was like a darkness took over his eyes. And one night I went in there 3 o'clock on the dot, like his call light goes off right after the doors just got done rattling in front of me. And then I go down there and like he's just staring at me, and he always had something to say. And he just kept staring at me. He did his business, laid back down, stared at me the whole time I walked out the door. I didn't say anything back to him. After I was like, okay, good night. That was about it. And as soon as I stepped outside his door, one of the cupboards got a big bang. And I went running. I was like, nope, I'm not down here by myself no more. Nope.
Got your
And
goat,
then-
didn't you?
We had cameras on our monitor in the dining room on my side. There was always like motion sensed, and it was always above his chair that he sat at in the dining room. And then after he died, that quit happening.
Interesting.
So we could really be onto something here.
Very, very well could be. I think it's a good theory to throw out there,
I do too.
Anybody listening to this, if you have any theories of your own or you want to add to ours, feel free to comment.
If you have your own story, please tell us and share it.
Absolutely.
You got plenty of believers here and firsthand experiences.
And we always try to go back to sharing paranormal stories. And if you want to share but you want to remain anonymous, feel free to send us a message and just tell us, hey, don't say my name. We won't say nothing. We'll share the story. We'll change things. Don't you worry.
Well, that's
All
what we do for investigations too. If people don't want us to say where it is or what it's about, we don't.
That's right.
If they're okay with it and don't want their name mentioned, you bet you're going to hear about it.
All right, moving on. The next one is titled, There's Someone in My House. Ooh. I live in rural Scotland next to a forest in Edinburgh, so I don't really see many people besides my pets. So when I started to notice objects missing from my kitchen or strange creaks outside my room in the early hours of the morning, I got a little spooked. I'm maybe the biggest night owl I've ever met. I stay up till 3, 4 in the morning. So around 2 weeks ago, when I heard shuffles and creaking of floorboards outside my room, my brain immediately fired up and a million scary thoughts flooded my mind. Didn't help that my dog, who was previously sound asleep next to me, had jolted up and had his ears perked, seemingly listening with me. My entire house is made of wood that creaks fairly often, even when there isn't someone walking through it, so normally, when I hear a sound out of the ordinary, I'm able to brush it off. That was one entire sentence. Woo! Honey, use some periods! Anyway, however, something about this was different. The creaks happened on and off, sort of, for around a week, and they were always followed by a soft shuffling outside that faded in and out. My breaking point was when, about a week ago, I started to notice that food was going missing from my pantry. I would buy a jar of jam and store it away, and when I would go and grab it, it would be gone. This was also the case for a carton of grapes, a tub of butter, and what really spooked me that went missing last night was my large wooden spoon that I wanted to use for my dinner. I know I probably should have intervened at an earlier point, but I tend to be very superstitious and overreactive, so I put it off and wrote it up to just me making things up. I am truly spooked and hope that this is all just in my head. Update. I've gotten a camera due to the overwhelming response telling me to do so. I've just finished setting it up in a fairly inconspicuous place. My biggest concern about setting a trap or something to tell me about the whereabouts or nature of whatever this is provoking them. We'll update in the morning. Also, this subreddit doesn't allow photo comments, so no staffy photos, unfortunately. They are on my profile. Well, that's, to me, listen, I'll take a ghost.
That one.
No. I'll take a ghost any day of the week, but an actual person, hell to the no.
What is that called? Spelunking, right? Where you sleep, you're like living in somebody's attic or hollow space.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That is one of the creepiest things. I can't even. Mm-mm. I would like to
She
just
needs
put
to check her walls and attic, number one.
start setting bug bombs off. You'll be good.
Yeah, no kidding.
Oh, just set like 20, 30 of them off in all your empty spaces and poison them.
Yeah,
Because they
Yeah, but
deserve
then
it.
he'll die in the walls and you'll have to smell that.
Well, at least you got them.
yeah. I don't think that one's paranormal. I think that is definitely you. You've got somebody in your house, dude. You need to.
Or she's on some kind of medication that makes her sleepwalk and eat.
I mean, that is a possibility too, but that is a growing concern of people have had squatters that just start living in the attic. They come down in the middle of the night when everyone else is sleeping, and they'll live for months and months without being detected in your house. Like, oh, no, 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 no.
And like, you think about having dogs and stuff like that, and that like keeps you safe. What if they over time befriend your canine and manage to just in and out like you would do, and your dog is excited and happy about them just as much as you? Like that freaks me out too. Like it's possible. People are crazy.
Yes.
Yes, they are. They're very crazy.
Yeah.
I don't
So,
worry about that in my house. All it would take is one time and they'd never be back.
ooh.
I think all of us have enough protection up to keep that kind of stuff away.
If a real life living person wants to try to squat in my house, they're not going to like me.
Me
I'll-
either. I'll get
just-
my zombie 45 out.
Yeah, I'll just keep it at that. You don't want to live in my house. No.
I'm that person that if I find out you're there, I will light it on fire while you're up there.
Jesus. Listen, sir, no house fires, okay? Find a
No
different.
house fires. And if you do that, you better have house insurance. Which won't cover
I don't-
it
No
because
kidding.
You started
I
the fire.
Listen, I was gonna say insurance is not gonna cover arson, so not a good plan.
I'll blame it on that person that was living up there. They
Just
did it, not me.
lasso them, take them out to the yard, pour honey all over their body, and let that fire ants eat him.
Oh God.
If I was in northern Michigan, I'd have let bears at them.
Oh, God, yeah. Coyote food.
Especially right
Oh.
now, everybody's hungry and getting ready for winter. We're not morbid at all here.
No. This is all
See where
hypothetical.
reading stories get you?
Well, I got another one. Are you ready for this?
Sure.
This one says, true story of the death curve in northern Germany. It says, hey everyone, I've got a true story my dad told me that still gives me the chills, especially when I drive through this area at night. There's a notorious curve where we live that everyone calls the death curve. And in German it says Todeskurve. I don't know if I said that right. Anyway, it's on a very isolated road that cuts right through a desolate moor in the northern Emsland region of Germany. This area is sparsely populated and feels incredibly remote, even during the day. The reason for the name is grim. Over the years, many people have had fatal accidents on this one curve. Sadly, my dad knew some of the victims personally. One evening, he was driving his old VW Beetle down this lonely road. As he entered the death curve, he saw them, the faces of the persons he knew who had died there, standing right next to the curve and staring intensely at him. Shocked, he quickly drove past. He immediately slammed on the brakes and checked his rearview mirror, but the road behind him was completely empty. They were gone. He maintains that he saw them clearly for that brief moment. Driving through the moor late at night always has me on edge around that specific curve. Has anyone else heard of specific named spots like this in their area that are known for fatal accidents and subsequent ghostly activity?
Dead Man's Curve's always been a bad one.
I was gonna say I can think of one that's always deadly, and it's Dead Man's Curve. I've never investigated it for paranormal activity, though. That would be interesting.
It would be interesting. But that's, to me, when you've got something like that, they die in that spot so fast, they're just passing through. I don't know that that's enough for them to necessarily haunt the area. Not saying it's impossible.
Well,
I'm
if they
just
die
saying,
so fast, they don't realize they're dead.
yeah, I could
That's
see
deep.
them. I could see them being like, my mind is blanking. Almost like they just like it's not an intelligent haunting. They're just kind of the memory just kind of plays over and over again type thing. Like their energy just imprints. I could see that happening.
Well, anywhere there's like a traumatic event, or like even not a traumatic event, a very happy event,
Yeah.
high energy, they usually leave a mark.
Well, look at the battlefields of Gettysburg. There's always something there. Always.
Well, I
The
mean,
amount of soldiers that just keep marching through there and don't even like acknowledge your
I mean,
existence, or
think
Yeah.
about the amount of blood that's spilled in that ground.
Well, think of any of the wars, the amount of blood.
Yeah. Crazy. Crazy. All right, I got another one. Are you ready?
Maybe.
get it.
This one says, I think my great grandma's dream wasn't just a normal dream. Okay. My mom has beaten the story into my brain so many times I've memorized every detail. Honestly, I wish I hadn't. Growing up, my mom was dirt poor. Her own mom would dump her at her grandma's house for months when money got tight. Well, my mom didn't mind. She was great grandma's golden child. They did everything together. Eventually, my grandma got her finances together and moved 12 hours away, taking my mom with her. But she would still travel alone every single summer back to my great grandma. College rolls around. My mom would still take trips as usual to my great grandma. This was when my great grandma would tell her about a dream. Someone pushed her down the stairs and she died. She brought it up over and over again, describing it in uncomfortable detail. She said she could feel the coldness of a hand pressing into her back as she stood at the top step, the violent shove, the fall. And when she hit the bottom and looked back up, she saw who pushed her, a woman. She never said who the woman was, just that it was a woman with long hair. Summer ended. My mom went back home for school. Later that year, mid-October, the call came. Grandma fell down the stairs, dead. Here's the thing that puzzles everyone. My great-grandma was super healthy, active, strong. She would trek up and down the hills to her farm on her own. No medical reason to just fall. My mom replays that summer in her head constantly. The way her grandma's voice sounded when she described the hand on her back. The look in her eyes when she said she saw who did it. She never got to ask her grandma who the woman in the dream was. That was 26 years ago. My mom still won't go near the top of the staircase without clutching on the railing.
I don't blame her.
Woof. Yeah, that's...
I mean, that could be true to a certain point, and it could not be true at all. But, you know, a lot of the older people that I've dealt with, there's similar stories. They all range in different ways, but sometimes I wonder if it's not death letting them know it's coming.
So it's funny you say that, because there's one comment on here that says, hi, I sort of study folklore and usually don't get interested by these kind of stories, but from a mythical point of view, this sounds a lot like a death omen. The cold hands and the long-haired woman are typical for fairy beings, similar to banshees across history.
Yep.
Very, very.
Well, and if she was very healthy and active and strong, with no reason to fall and die, like more of a reason to give her a heads up, right?
Yeah. Like,
well, you know,
man.
Something similar happened to Abraham Lincoln. He was dreaming about getting shot for months up until it happened. So he knew he was going to die. Was that a death omen?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was just desensitization to him to prepare him.
Yeah. Patsy Cline, she knew she wasn't going to make it off that plane. She was offered to go on a tour bus because they knew bad weather was coming. And Patsy looked at her friends and said, nope, it's going to be what it's going to be. I'm going to go up in that plane. And she died. So it's believed that she knew she was going to die and that she accepted it as her time. Spooky.
Yeah.
That's sad.
Yes. It makes
I'd been like, scoot over, I'm getting in the van.
right. I'd be like, yeah, not today.
Well, and if that was her like life plan and like what she was supposed to, how she was supposed to go,
Mm-hmm.
something would just overcome her and prevent her from normally like what she would probably say that she would go on that bus, take that tour bus option versus a plane. But this time, something probably just overtook her and said, "Nope, I gotta go."
Yeah.
This has been years, but my very first trip to Las Vegas, I wouldn't get on the plane. I was headed to how they connect it with that tunnel. I was headed to go in it, and I stopped. I backed up and I looked at the lady and I said, I can't get on this plane. I got on the next plane. The plane I was supposed to get on had major functioning problems, and they had to land it in Chicago. To this day, I am just so glad I didn't get on that plane.
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad that everybody was okay and that they were able to land it, but it still wouldn't have been a fun experience, I'm sure.
No. And who knows, if I got on it, maybe it would have crashed.
Stop. No.
That's terrifying.
When all you hear is, don't get on it.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't getting on it.
Well, I'm a strong, if I'm driving home from somewhere and my gut's like, don't you take that route, you take a different route, I listen. I'm like, okay, no problem.
I don't talk about this one often because it's way too much sometimes to handle a little bit, and it took me a little bit to get over it. But when I was in high school, we were supposed to have play rehearsal, and the weather was coming in. It was bad. I got really nervous gut, got anxious, and something just told me not to go. Like, no. And I talked to my stepmom at the time, and was like, she's like, then don't go. Like, and if they have a problem, I'll call and talk to them, whatever. And she told him, like, because of weather and stuff, like, she didn't want me to go. Well, the people I was supposed to be riding home with on their way home went under a semi, and my classmate was killed.
Jesus.
I would have been in the seat that he was in.
Well, I'm glad that you didn't go.
I mean, heart goes out to your classmate and his family. That's awful, but I'm definitely glad you listened.
Yeah, I was like, because that was supposed to be my ride home from rehearsal that night.
Wow.
I was friends with his sister. And so she's like, yeah, my mom, no problem, whatever. And she called me, hey, are you with my mom and my brother? And I said, no, I didn't end up going. So, yeah. Count your blessings when you realize it's like that close.
Yes.
Yeah, truly.
And you always listen to your gut.
Always. There's a reason we all have it. It's not about being psychic or anything like that. Everybody has this instinct. Don't ignore it.
Absolutely. I totally believe it was my survival instinct. Something red,
Mm-hmm.
primal in me understood something was not right and was going to be wrong.
Absolutely.
Must be part of the family tradition.
Like, even years later, because I was, I think, a senior in high school, maybe. Like, years later, it still, like, hits me hard. And that's why I don't talk about it very often, because it's still...
Well, it's something you have to live with, honey.
Oh, yeah.
But, I mean, you did nothing wrong.
Nope. I'm just thankful and feel blessed that I have strong intuition and know to listen to it.
Absolutely. So, strong intuition. How you guys think we're going to do at Rhodes?
I honestly, I'm kind So we've looked up a little bit of information on roads, but I'm trying to avoid looking anything else up because I want to go in as blind as possible and just see what happens if we pick up on anything. So I'm hopeful, but I know it's going to be fun no matter what. So
I think we're definitely going to stir some stuff up because getting all of us together in one place like that is just going to raise some vibrations and it's going to be crazy and they're going to be able to feed off us like nuts. And
agreed.
I'm open to using myself as like energy conduit because I don't have to work the next day. So
we're all gonna come home with a paranormal hangover.
Hey, Dawn, how you doing?
Hi, Dawn. What's up?
Oh, we're definitely going to have paranormal hangover the next day.
Yeah, for sure.
Which sucks because we got to drive back to Michigan.
Next day or next week, sometimes it happens for a week at a time.
Yeah, I mean, it lasts me a couple days at least, for sure. I can't just, I'm good. No, that doesn't happen. Coffee is already my best friend, but it's going to be even more so after that.
I've already warned coworkers, like, I took Monday off, but Tuesday I still can't guarantee I'm going to be 100%.
Right?
You'll be like, you'll be good by Tuesday.
It's either that or you're going to be rattling, talking about everything.
Oh, yeah, right. Especially if a lot of stuff happens. I'm like, oh.
Yep, like, you'll never guess what happened.
On a Monday, podcast is Tuesday. It'll still be fresh.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be great.
Yeah,
and I talk to a lot of my coworkers about my experiences, and I'm not quiet about it or walk on eggshells when it comes to that kind of stuff. So
shouldn't have to.
That's how I feel, and that's why I don't do it. If you don't like it and you think I'm crazy, walk away.
They need to go reevaluate themselves.
I don't know what just happened. You were both talking.
I could tell by your face you were like,
I was like overloaded for a minute. I'm like, I can't focus on either of you right now, but it's okay. It's all right. It's
that
fine.
Look just went.
It just went and shut down.
And processing.
All right, I've got another one. Buckle up. It's a bumpy ride. You guys ready for this?
Sure.
All right. It says, my horror story as a tow truck driver.
Oh, gosh.
We have gone from paranormal to paranormal encounters. We're now under the subreddit True Scary Stories, FYI. Okay. My horror story as a tow truck driver. I was a RITO, a registered tow truck operator, for about 2 years. It was a great job. Pay was good, lots of overtime and on-call shifts. I got into the career because of shows I watched as a kid, like Highway Through Hell. So when I got the chance to go into the field, I jumped on it. The first month was good. I learned a lot of experience and new skills. Part of our job as RITO was emergency calls with police and fire for crash scenes and impounds. So we saw a lot of tragic stuff. DUI fatality, hit and runs, non-DUI fatalities, etc. The job can be very emotionally and mentally draining and can mess you up if you're not careful. However, there's another kind of aspect to the job not a lot of drivers talk about. The paranormal, odd stuff, or calls that unsettle you. Almost every tow truck driver has experienced it. It was a snowy, cold November night in 2023. We didn't get a lot of calls that day, so I was just chilling at the shop for my on-call shift. The night was going very slowly. We hadn't got any calls for hours. So I lay down for a bit, not expecting to get any call for the night. Then all of a sudden, I get a call for a broken down WSP, which is Washington State Patrol, car off this dirt road. I didn't think much of it at the time. It wasn't too wired for me since I'd gotten a few calls like it before, so I hop in my flatbed and drive up to the call's location. The directions took me a good 30-ish minutes outside of the city to the mountains on I-90. Oh, you lost me. No thanks. By the time I get off the freeway, it was super foggy and very hard to see, so I took it slow and easy to be safe. I keep driving up the now dirt mountain road, and then I start to think to myself that this is a really odd road for WSP to be on, since they usually stay on the interstates and state highways. I didn't think much of it when I first got the call, because staters and sheriffs do occasionally go out on the more remote roads, but the road I was going on was an unpaved dirt logging road. There was nothing out here, just an old logging road and trees. I try to rationalize it to myself that maybe the cop was just out here for an abandoned car, which would explain why he's all the way out here, since cars do get left and abandoned out here often. So I just shrug it off and continue my way up the road. I finally get to the location and stop the truck dead in its tracks and just sit there for a minute. What the hell? The WSP car was parked out on this mountain road with all its doors open and no lights on, with no officers in sight. It was so foggy, I really could only see the car, but it was clear to me that no one was in it. I very heavily contemplated just turning around and going back, but I eventually decided to hop out and inspect the car and look for the officer, since he could have been injured. So I hopped out of the truck and grabbed my AR with my sidearm holstered. Don't blame you. Since I had no idea what I was about to walk into, I walked up to the car very cautiously. Just because I had my guns on did not make the situation feel any better nor safer. I first check out the driver's seat, then the passenger seat. Odd, I think to myself, nothing is missing. It was like everything was frozen in time. At this point, I'm starting to get a strange feeling like something is off, that when I look into the trunk of the car and notice the AR is missing. I immediately freeze up and look around. As I'm looking around, that's when I notice that the forest was dead quiet, no wind, no nothing. I've seen a lot of messed up stuff, like dead bodies, entire families gone in one accident, etc., but I was completely unnerved. Something inside me was telling me to get the hell out of there. I managed to gather my composure to do a walk around one more time just to make sure I didn't miss anything. Then I called my dispatcher just to make sure I had the right location and information, and sure enough, everything was correct. At that point, I was ready as hell to get out as fast as possible. Right before I turned the truck around, I yelled out just to see if I'd get a response, but nothing but dead silence came back. Something is deeply wrong, and with this, I said to myself, and booked it out of there. The whole drive back, I had this sick feeling like I stumbled across something I was absolutely not supposed to see, or if I was even supposed to be there. I keep thinking why the cop was all the way out. Why was the cop all the way out there? Why did he leave the car on? Or why were all the doors wide open? Or if it even was a cop in the first place? And why was the AR missing when thousands of dollars worth of equipment was in the car? Once I got back to the shop, I called a police dispatcher that gave us the call. Since I knew her, I was hoping she could give some answers. But no, she said the exact same thing that was said to me. That was a WSP car. It was broken down and just needed a tow. I never told my supervisor or anyone else out of fear that they wouldn't believe me. And I mean, I wouldn't blame them if they didn't. I never heard anything about a missing cop after that, nothing on the news. It still creeps me out just to think about it.
I think he just weirded himself out.
That is kind of interesting. Why would they leave everything open, though?
Didn't he say he grabbed his AR when he first got out of it?
Yeah.
He grabbed his own personal handgun.
Yep. Yeah, that one's kind of weird.
Yeah, that don't even make sense.
Well, I had to try to read through it too, because bless his heart, he wasn't super grammatically correct, but I think we got the gist of it.
Mm-hmm. Want to talk about something really weird?
What?
I'm pretty sure there's aliens out here.
No way.
What?
Oh, God, yeah.
No way.
Oh, we know Bigfoot's here. He's an alien.
Allegedly.
But you remember, it's been a few months back, I called you freaked out because the bed was shaking?
Yeah.
The night I took pictures of the Northern Lights, remember that funky one I sent that looked like it was shining off of a planet and coming straight down and shining on my bedroom?
Mm-hmm.
I woke up to the bed shaking again, but it was doing this hard. To
Really?
say the least. I flew out of bed and went outside and started taking those pictures. And I could still hear the bed moving. And it probably went on for a good, probably up to 30 seconds, 20 seconds. And then it just stopped. I came back in after taking the pictures, and it's like everything was quiet. So I would like screamed at everybody to get the hell out of my place if they were in here, of course. And,
Per usual.
but how weird is that?
That is interesting.
So is this going to be an occurrence once every few months, or?
I guess you're about to find out. Maybe you should keep a journal.
I don't know, but poor Higgins is so terrified.
I can imagine. That's no fun.
Did I
She's like,
tell you guys recently that I had like this epiphany of a reoccurring nightmare that I used to have as a child, and I'm pretty sure it's how my brain processed alien abduction.
Do tell.
Okay, so in this nightmare that I would always wake up from that scared me, I was always in a white room. As a child, I put it in my head as that I thought it was my bedroom, but looking back on it, it was completely white. And there was a bright light and a fan going above me. And there was two, what I always thought were prominent humans in my life at the time fighting and arguing over me. But once again, even thinking about it, like, because I thought about this and I had it for years. And there's no faces to those individuals.
there you go.
And I was like, so I can't really say that it was those people in my life at that time actually arguing over me. And my brain was just creating this scenario to make myself, cope with it.
Yeah.
Because I always thought as a child I was being abducted.
You probably are.
I have a couple what I thought were dreams where in my bedroom, it was one of the largest windows upstairs, and I remember a bright light coming through it. And I think as a kid, I put it off as just being a car, but this was a bright light and it didn't just pass by, it stayed in place.
Wow.
So,
Well, I have, you kids know all about me and the Zilwaukee Bridge.
Yeah.
One minute I'm on it, the next minute I'm sitting in the end of my driveway wondering where the hell several hours went.
Yeah, I mean, that would.
So, and same driveway where I'm at now with the bed thing happening. I'm like, are they just coming back or what?
Hard to say.
So I was looking for marks all over my body. I still got the one on my ear from way back when, but it's like, good God, here we go again.
So I don't want to share too much of it yet, only because there is instruction not to, but I had a very strange dream myself, and all I can say is I don't have time for it, okay? I'm planning a wedding, so y'all gotta wait, okay? That's all I'm gonna say about that.
Well, there's big changes coming, and it's not going to be from us.
Well, if they decide to do it during June of next year, then they need to pay me and reimburse me some funds.
Or at least just party at the reception first.
I mean, that would be fine. Whatever. Y'all better bring some mead. That's all I'm asking.
Conrad and I'll be right over there talking to him.
Wait, distract him. We'll bring a projector and be like, hey, y'all ever watch Lord of the Rings?
Oh my God. I thought about doing that.
No, I don't want that. It'd be too distracting.
Well, not play the sound, but just have the movie playing.
No, I don't want it. Nope.
Okay.
Nope.
Okay.
Nope. I'm trying to find another good story here. I think we got time for one more. I want to find a good one. Oh, the title of this one is He Just Kept Screaming. Dare we read it?
Oh, why not?
Oh, Lord. All right. So, still under true scary stories. This happened in 2023, and I still have the occasional nightmare. I worked in sterile services, cleaning used surgical instruments for doctors and getting them back to the operating theaters. One night near the end of my shift, around 5 or 6 p.m., I was taking a trolley full of instruments to a ward on the other side of the hospital. As I got about a quarter of the way there, I started to hear a noise. It wasn't completely noticeable. I think at first I thought it was the wind coming through cracks in the doors. It was easy to tune out, and I probably would have forgotten about it if I'd stayed at that distance. But then I started getting closer, and it was getting harder to ignore. So after I delivered the trolley, I decided to walk further through the hospital to see where the noise was coming from. My shift was basically over, so it didn't matter if it took me a little longer to get back. I saw a couple nurses rushing in and out of a room at the end of the corridor where the sound was coming from. At this point, from the distance I was standing, it sounded like a broken, high-pitched drill. One nurse was even covering her ears like she couldn't bear listening to it any longer. Then, as I was about 20 or 30 feet away, one of the nurses swung open the door directly ahead of me, and my stomach felt like it dropped to my feet. There was a malnourished man in a bed with his mouth uncomfortably wide open, screaming. He was surrounded by doctors, and his face looked almost dark blue. We locked eyes for what felt like an entire minute. As soon as I discovered the source of the noise, it's like the context of the situation changed the way I perceived the sound altogether. The pitch of his scream never changed. The volume never got quieter. He never gasped for air. He just kept screaming. I've dreamt about this so many times at this point that I'm not even sure if his face was as scary as I remember it, but I swear I could see the veins popping out of his forehead. I don't know if it was a surgery that went wrong, if his anesthesia wore off too early, or if the guy was just batshit crazy, but it makes no sense how he was able to scream out in pain for that long. It takes me 5 minutes to deliver trolleys to that ward, and I heard that noise the entire time. I'm sure there's ways to rationalize it, like maybe the sound wasn't coming from the man, and it just seemed that way because he had his mouth open in such position that it looked like it was. Or maybe it was a weird audio phenomenon where the long empty hospital corridors bounced the sound of his screams back and forth so it only appeared as though he never stopped to catch his breath. I just prefer not to think about it.
Sounds to me like the guy had Alzheimer's.
There is something, though, when someone can just... I mean, we've seen it in and out of, like, nursing homes. Somebody's losing their mind. I mean, I never worked at one, but just visiting one frequently enough and seeing what happens when your mind just starts degrading, that's a
like
whole...
the lady that wanted to kill you when I'd take you into see Adelaide.
Fuck that lady. I try to be civil and not wish ill, and I didn't wish ill on this lady, but when I found out she died, I was not sad. Okay, because every single time we'd go in there, I'm just a little kid. I don't even know if I was 10 years old, 10, 11.
4.
No, I don't think I was that young.
No, you weren't. Wait a minute.
I was like
You
10,
were
11.
7. You were 7.
I think I was a little bit... Anyway, it don't matter. I was definitely old enough to remember this bitch with her fucking rocker, and she's like, I'm gonna kill you, little girl. And I was like, no.
Why is it every one of our everybody? I feel like every person in our generation literally has a memory of an old lady telling them they're gonna kill them like that. Like,
I don't know, but when they're like, "Oh, she passed away," I was like, "Yes!" I mean, oh, so sad.
the resident I was telling you about earlier, I had cake after he died. I bought me and third shift a cake.
I mean, listen, it's not like we're... It's gotta
I was
be...
relieved is
Yeah.
what I was like. I was celebrating relief.
Well, but it's
for
gotta
all
be
of us.
a giant relief for them to finally pass on. If your mind is that fucked, like...
Well, hopefully you're less miserable and you can be a better being out
Right.
of that body. That's for
I'm
sure.
a firm believer. When they pass on, they go back to their favorite time. And that's when they had a mind, hopefully.
Or a completely different life.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Now that would be a terrifying entity to come across. Somebody stuck in their withered mind.
That would not be good.
Oh no, that would be awful.
So you were like talking about dreaming and screaming. We were talking about Lord of the Rings, and it reminded me of this time that I was in a place that I didn't want to be in, and I was sleeping, and I woke up screaming, "Fucking kill them!" And it was a Lord of the Rings dream that I was waking
God.
up from. And I was fighting the yeah.
I mean,
Okay.
when I was little, I don't really remember the dream now, but I remember falling asleep in the living room, and Mom and Dad's room was directly above the living room, and you probably remember this, Mom. It was the night that I was screaming bloody murder, and you guys rushed downstairs to wake me up, and apparently I had a nightmare that the Powerpuff Girls were blowing things up.
Yes. Yes.
The Powerpuff Girls.
It's a Powerpuff Girl.
And the only thing I remember is cities blowing up. The only thing that disturbs me, and I'm not saying it's related because, I could have seen something on TV or whatnot, but it was around the time 9/11 happened. And that's the only thing that disturbs me. But again, there's a lot of shit on TV. I'm not saying it was a premonition. Just disturbingly coincidental.
I don't think it was coincidental, Chelsea.
Well, the Powerpuff Girls didn't do that shit.
I think in your little mind, they were there for a reason.
Maybe they were trying to save the day, but they were.
Yeah.
I don't know. That was a bad night. That was a bad night. I think you guys were more scared than I was.
Until we could
I
figure
could
out
imagine as a parent. Yeah.
disturbing.
Yeah. Good times.
We'll have to get Dawn back on here sometime so she can update us on the house.
Yeah,
Yes.
positively.
Or do another investigation at her house. That was
I agree with that one too.
So I'd be fine with it, but again, gonna have to wait a while.
Well, maybe the next time you come down, we can hook up with her. Because you got to admit, we got a lot of feed off that box.
Oh yeah, it was a very good time, but I don't want to plan anything at this moment. I can't. My brain
not right now.
My brain is fried.
Was it a bad day?
It's been a long year this week, and it's only Tuesday.
I feel that.
Yeah.
I didn't think yesterday would ever end.
Yeah, yesterday was yesterday was like the Mondayest Monday of all Mondays.
And to say the least, since the bedroom episode, I have not slept very well.
I just don't sleep.
I don't normally sleep either, but this is worse, and it's like great.
I'm thinking sleep is a mythological story at this point. I
can't take a bath in peace anymore ever since I heard that voice coming in telling me, let me in.
Oh, yeah, good point.
I feel like I'm like going to get grabbed while I'm in the shower or something.
Psycho.
So I hate shower curtains, okay? And I wish we had maybe like a glass door or something. Because like I hate plastic shower curtains that are see-through too. But I also don't like the ones that aren't transparent because I don't like not knowing what's coming at me.
Well, you need to get the
That's
ones
why you
that
lock the door.
Well, and then you can get the ones that have like a strip by your head where you can see through it, and the rest you can't.
There you go.
Your nakedness is covered. You can still see.
And it's not so much that I worry about my nakedness showing. It's just I don't like those plastic curtains.
Yeah.
And that's why I wish we had like glass. Because,
Yeah.
I don't give a crap. Like,
Glass
whatever.
is a pain in the ass.
We're
to
all
clean.
naked underneath all of our clothes. So
I have a cloth shower curtain, and it's nice.
I'm always
brought
so
it back from
terrified that
Nancy.
somebody's just gonna come. And Jordan, like, I feel like knows better than to like jump scare me like that.
Mhm.
So
Oh, but I'll do it. He's never going to bathe in the house again.
I'm going to a haunted corn maze on Friday with my coworkers.
Nice.
Awesome.
I went last year with them. It's like,
We should go to a corn maze.
Pass.
Why? Corn mazes are fun.
Because I don't handle people jumping out at me. Okay.
It's a maze. It's not
Chelsea
haunted. It's
just
a maze.
stabs them. We didn't even know she had a sharp object. She just stabs them. It just manifested out of thin air.
Look at Dawn says she's all for us coming back.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Ooh,
Chelsea, you would literally take a corn stalk and kill somebody with it. So you
I could
definitely
see her
should
doing
not
that.
go to a corn maze.
I could see her shoving that down somebody's throat and right out their rectum.
I could see her just wrapping around their neck, like, don't come at me.
Who's scared now, bitch? Yeah, this is why I don't.
The whole time she'd be going through it. You.
I like watching the videos online of people going through haunted houses and shit, but I didn't. Give me a real haunted house any day.
I typically don't scare easily. And I think it's because of like our life experiences as being able to communicate and see the others. And I let my guard down in there, I guess. Like, I allow myself to get scared. I allow myself to have that experience. Plus, I allow myself to kind of feed off all the other energy. And it just like helps me immerse into the experience. Last year I got chased and I was gone. They were like, we didn't know you could move that fast, Conrad.
Last haunted house I was in Houghton Lake. And I walked through that thing with everyone screaming and crying and carrying on. And I just walked right through it. There's people touching me, grabbing me, jumping at me. And I just look at them. And they just look at me like, shit. It's like, this is fake. This is all so fake.
I like haunted hay rides where I can sit. That I'm all for. But if I have to make myself walk and somebody's jumping out at me, no.
You're gonna
She just falls to the ground while she's swinging.
I like sitting on the hay wagon and seeing everything. Now that for me is a great experience. But me walking.
They got any haunted hay rides up this way?
I remember trying to find some last year and I couldn't find any close. We did do a hay ride. It was at that one place.
Yeah.
Wellington, yeah. So, but that one's not a scary hay ride. They just take you through the field and they have hundreds of carved pumpkins that are lit up and it's just really cool. And you get cider and donuts. So like it's a feel good experience.
It's a beautiful place. If you guys ever get up towards the Grayling area, you got to stop there. They're the ones that have the old Stittsville Church.
It's beautiful. I love that place. And actually, I kind of want to see if they're doing hay rides again this year because I wouldn't mind going.
Well, that's funny. So I was like thinking about, I want to go on like just a themed daytime hay ride, that's pulled by horses and like you're just, like you said, happy experience.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I would settle for walking through town looking at the Halloween decorations, to be honest. Dawn says, I'm the one who buries my head in the front person's back, including strangers. Same. 100%. 100%. Like, if Mitchell ever drags me into a haunted house, I will I will be burrowed into him. Like, I won't even see anything. I'll just be like, okay, don't run me into any walls. Let me know when we're done.
Mitchell's not going to take you into a haunted house. He wants to keep his nipples.
Oh, God, that's funny. I love it. Well, kids, I hate to cut us short, but we are a little over time.
Okay.
This was a lot of fun, though. I can't wait till next week. Let's talk about more spooky stories.
Let's
Sound
go on a
good?
hayride.
We'll see. We'll see. Well,
I'll let
guys,
everybody know how scared I was at the
okay,
hayride.
yes, we'll definitely.
Okay,
talk
please
about that.
do. We'll be
Well,
waiting.
Hopefully you guys enjoyed the show. If you catch this after our live, totally fine. Feel free to leave a comment. Let us know if you have any spooky experiences, or if you just want to share some input, that's fine, but be nice. And we'll see you guys next week. So have a great rest of the week. Stay safe and stay spooky. Bye.
We love you all.
Bye.